The Great Sheep and Fox Mystery. Once upon a time, in the cozy, green meadows of Muddlewood Farm, there lived a flock of sheep who loved to graze, snooze, and gossip. Their days were peaceful, until rumors of a mysterious fox started to spread. Now, this fox was a trickster. His name was Freddy, and he was famous in the nearby forest for his quick wit and sneaky plans. But here's the funny part, Freddy wasn't interested in eating the sheep or causing any trouble. No, Freddy had a much stranger hobby. He loved to steal wool. He would sneak into Muddlewood Farm at night and, snip snip, take little tufts of wool from the sheep while they slept. The sheep, of course, had no idea who was snipping their wool. But they noticed something was off. Bella the sheep, who had the fluffiest coat of all, woke up one morning to find a mysterious patch of her wool missing. "Did someone give me a new haircut while I was sleeping?" she bleated in shock. The other sheep gathered around to inspect. "Oh no, Bella, you look like a patchwork pillow!" cried her best friend, Woolly Wanda. This went on for days. Every morning, a different sheep would wake up with a piece of wool missing. This was no ordinary fox, he was sneaky, clever, and left no trace. The sheep were baffled, but little did they know, Freddy had a plan for all the wool he'd been snipping. One night, Bella, tired of waking up with a balding patch, decided enough was enough. She gathered the sheep and said, "We're going to catch this wool thief red-handed. Or red-pawed." The sheep set up their plan. They scattered flour around the barn doors, hoping the fox would leave a trail of paw prints. They even left Bella out as bait, fluffing up her wool to look extra inviting. That night, Freddy crept into the barn, licking his chops at the sight of Bella's fluffy coat. Just as he reached out with his paw, there was a loud baa. "Gotcha!" Bella and the rest of the sheep popped out from behind hay bales, startling Freddy so much that he did a somersault in midair. "What's going on?" Freddy stammered, his bushy tail sticking up in shock. "We caught you, Freddy." "Why are you stealing our wool?" demanded Bella, stomping her hoof. Freddy, trying to regain his composure, blushed. "Well, it's... I needed the wool for something special." The sheep, curious now, asked him to explain. Freddy took a deep breath and said, "Winter is coming, and I've always wanted to knit the warmest, coziest scarf in the world. But I don't have any wool of my own. I thought you wouldn't miss just a little bit." The sheep looked at each other and then burst out laughing. "You've been stealing our wool to make a scarf?" "Yes," said Freddy, looking down, embarrassed. "A really, really, really long scarf." Bella and the sheep couldn't stay mad. After all, Freddy hadn't harmed them, and the idea of him wearing a woolly scarf was just too funny. "Tell you what," said Bella with a grin. "If you wanted wool, all you had to do was ask." And so, the sheep donated their extra wool to Freddy, who thanked them with a big, foxy smile. With the wool, he knitted the longest scarf anyone in the forest had ever seen. It wrapped around his neck, over his back, around his legs, and he still had enough to make matching mittens. From then on, every winter, Freddy wore his scarf proudly, and every spring, the sheep would share their wool with him in exchange for a new funny story or two. And if you ever visit Muddlewood Farm, you might just spot a fox in a super long scarf, sitting with a flock of sheep, laughing about the great wool mystery of Muddlewood Farm.